What should you buy right now? It's so difficult to know. There are so many different choices. Old school silver, new silver, bullion bars, gold sovereigns, my all-time favorite. I still think these are the best things that you can possibly buy. But there are so many options. And with prices coming down right now, in spot price terms at least, we have big decisions ahead of us as to what we want to buy. So I'm going to help you understand what might be best if you're looking to get some more gold and silver in your stack. Everybody, Backyard Bullion here, and a very warm welcome to you all joining me for another precious metal ramble. Now, the gold and silver markets have come down a little bit, and because it's all come down, everybody's very excited to go and buy as much as possible. Back up the truck, now's the time to buy. Well, maybe now is the time to buy, and if you can get hold of cheap gold and silver, then all the better. But what is the best thing to buy? That's the big question, and I'm hoping to give you all a few insights on what I think are the best things to buy here in this video today. Now, I'm not an investment guru or a guy who knows much about the future. Nobody does. But I can share my experience, my thoughts, tips, hints, and tricks about what I think is a good buy right now when it comes to precious metals. And hopefully you'll be able to glean some information about that and make some decisions for yourself. Now, I'd love to know what your decisions would be or could be. Please comment with them down below. And I know a lot of newbies out there in the gold and silver market will read those comments and see a lot of the insights from seasoned stackers. So it'd be great to hear from you. And whilst you're at it, don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe if you want to see this coin. Whoa, it's a good one from the Germanium Mint, showcased on Friday. Now, enough of that for now. What should you buy? That's the big question. I think ultimately, as long as you're paying a cheap price, depends on why you want to buy. If you're buying collectibles, like the thing I've just flashed up on the screen, if you're buying something like this, you won't get it for cheap. That's a different market altogether. But if you just want to get into some bullion, silver or gold for whatever reason it might be, if you can get it for cheap, you can't go much wrong. And compared with gold, silver does seem a lot cheaper, historically speaking, than gold. So I would say if you were presented with an opportunity to buy some spot price silver or some spot price gold right now, then perhaps silver is the thing to think about. I personally feel, though, if you had no gold and silver at all and you were just starting completely from scratch, a lot of people think that getting silver over gold is going to be easier, but actually I feel like gold, whilst might be not as sort of big and sexy, you'll get one coin here for 425 quid or whatever it is for spot price right now, compared with an awful lot of silver. It feels a little bit less cool to have one tiny gold coin than a big chunk and wedge of silver in your hand holding and enjoying those coins. For sure, I can get that and I understand why, but I feel like gold in that long term still has a pretty good potential. It always has outperformed silver, always has, always will. So that's kind of enough about gold versus silver. What about the individual types of coins that you should buy? Should they even be coins? I've got some bars out here on the table. Perhaps we should talk about those. And as I said, for cheapness, you can't go much wrong with a kilo bar of silver right now. If you were to look to buy some silver at spot price, should you get a coin or a bar? Arguably, if you can get capital gains tax exempt coinage like Britannia's at spot price, then you'll be laughing all the way to the bank. But they do command more of a premium than the good old-fashioned chunky bars of silver would. Come on, camera, you can focus, you can do it. It's really quite weird on the lighting here today, but there we go. So, from my perspective, if you had some spot price silver, definitely go for capital gains tax exempt coinage, but it's not the end of the world if you don't get it, because at the end of the day, capital gains tax is one of those things which is often kind of misunderstood. You don't pay tax on the profits of everything. You only pay tax on the profits over a certain threshold of everything. So if you bought this kilo bar and it was your only kilo bar, you would have to make more than £3,000 profit on just one singular bar of silver to have to worry about capital gains. And let me tell you, if you're buying this right now at spot price of £700 and you're selling it for £3,700 in the future, you have nothing to worry about. So capital gains is a little bit of a misnomer. But if you have a larger budget, then for sure it can be a wise choice to stick to capital gains exempt stuff. Here's a prime example from my own stack. I bought this back in 2017. It was 1,015 when I bought it. It now is, well, spot price alone is 1840, so arguably you could get a little bit more for it. Let's call it 1900. If I sold it at the peak in that last couple of weeks, 1950, I've already done a third of my allowance for that particular year. So definitely worth thinking about. If I had a non-capital gains tax exempt coin like this gold coin here, selling it, making a profit on it, I'd have to factor that in over the course of the rest of my sales for the year if I was liquidating. So it is worth thinking about, but it's also not worth getting too hung up on and just losing sleep over. Ultimately, if you're having to pay capital gains taxes, you're doing the right thing because you're making money. That's the thing that a lot of people forget. Now, in terms of liquidity, the problem with something like a big kilo bar of silver is that it's less popular. And as I said, if someone was presented with the opportunity to buy spot price coins with Britannias or a spot price silver bar, they would go for the coins every time. So the bars often will be cheaper, and they'll be cheaper at the other end when you look to sell them. You won't get as much premium out of them, in my opinion. So that is something to factor in. And in terms of liquidity, you just can't go wrong with sovereigns. So if you are going for gold, I've talked about silver there. If you're going for silver coins or bars, fine, go as cheap as possible. But if you're going for gold, the question becomes, what size gold do you go for? And a lot of people think gold is so unobtainable at the moment that they have to buy in the tiniest fraction possible, which are grams. And often those actually are quite expensive when you extrapolate the price up to larger denominations. Grams right now from dealers, you're looking at 75, 80 pounds. When you put that up into a full ounce, that's a real big premium on top of your gold. Now, if you buy sovereigns like these, yes, they're 8 grams, so you have to put a lot more cash in the front end to buy them in the first place, but they are super cheap right now. They are part of history. They are lovely. They are beautiful. They are, as you can see, handleable. A lot of people will probably moan at me for holding my gold, but guess what? The coins like this were made to be in circulation, or perhaps not these modern ones here, but they're still made of the exact same alloy. These coins from Queen Victoria's reign here would have been used as coins, as currency. Some would have been put aside because they were nice, but others, they were used as currency. So it doesn't matter. Holding them, enjoy them. That's what sovereigns are great for, especially if they're just cheap and cheerful sovereigns. And the same can be said for cheap and cheerful old school silver. So that's why I've got this big old pile of old eagles. We've got some Mexican Olympic coins out here. Sorry, it said old eagles. I meant peace dollars. I think I've got some funky old thalers up here. Yes, these are really cool. Old Maria thalers. Although, actually, I say old. These are probably just reproduction ones. So don't think that the 1780 date there is a real date. That's a modern replica. Still silver, but a modern replica. They've used the same design forever. Got some sort of old coin here from the Britannic Empire of George himself. So old bits of silver like this, if you can pick them up for really cheap prices, they make a really good little fun thing to enjoy, to stack, to have, and you can certainly look to get them. So the answer I think that you can probably glean from all of this is cheaper the better, quite frankly. But that's not always the case, because there are some things in this world that are a little bit more premium. So we're seeing some things, it's still, I will say some, there's a hard market out there, but there are some things out there that are proving to be exceptionally popular, and amongst others are the Germania Mint products. They continue to impress with a lot of the things that they've got going on within their production and genre and branding. They've done an exceptional job at producing really great pieces that we can all enjoy, and let me tell you, this is definitely one not to miss for for Friday. I'm going to film it tomorrow, but it's going to come out on Friday. So that is definitely one not to miss. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already. But yes, collectible stuff, more premium items. There's definitely an argument to be had for them, because they are holding some of that premium quite well, but their liquidity is difficult. You're not going to necessarily be able to get that money out very easily and quickly. You have to find the right buyer for them at some point down the line, and that can be a little bit challenging. So from that perspective, it's the sort of same genre with poured silver. So like my own poured silver stuff, it comes at a premium because I have to make it, and it takes time, energy, money, resources to do and to make. So you don't necessarily want to be going all in on these things, but to have a few in your collection, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that right now. And if you're holding it for a long term and you've got that ease of liquidity to not have to worry about it, then that is fantastic. Now, if you're looking at this 10-ounce bar and you're thinking, yummy, I want it, then you can possibly win it. It's our giveaway prize, I made it with Silver Angel Pouring, our partner in the Silver Forum branded products. They are an incredible silver creator and pourer. The Silver Forum commissioned this and we made it together, and we are, of course, now, I say we again, I'm not the owner of the forum, despite all the conspiracy theories. Chris Silver on the forum is giving it away. There is a link in the description box below to that giveaway where you can sign up to the Silver Forum if you're not already done so, or if you are a member of the forum, you can click a little button and it will take you there. And in about a month's time, I think that closes and somebody will win this, which is really cool. So in terms of what you would look to buy today, right now, I think having a mix of everything is a really good idea. And that's why you'll see out here on the table a mix of everything. I am a huge fan of just a large chunk of cheap silver. That's why I have a bunch of kilo bars in my stack. I'm a big fan of cheap, old, historical coins, just stuff that is real and very cool to have and to enjoy. And that's why I have a bunch of peace dollars here. I'm also a fan of profit and actually making some money on some of my investments. And that's why I've been accumulating gold over these last few years, because I do feel like gold is that, I don't want to use the sort of phrase, the surefire way to make money with precious metals, but historically it has been a lot more reliable in terms of its growth and price points than silver has, and it's easier to liquidate when the time comes. So it's really easy to do, whether that be in sovereign form or in older coins or bars even from the Royal Mint. I am a big fan of having some gold, but it can't be ignored that silver is also really quite undervalued at the moment compared with gold. So having some silver, like these Silver Britannias, is a great idea, and especially if they are capital gains tax little bits of silver. Being able to have these and not have to pay tax when you sell them and make profit on them makes a big difference. Certainly with the prices of, or say the prices, certainly with the thresholds of allowances having gone down significantly. If you're married, at least you still have potentially between the two of you £6,000 a year's worth of profit, remember, not sales profit, to factor in. And then there's the dark horse. I put this out on the table with the intention of actually talking about it, so I should probably do so. But then there's platinum. I'd say of everything, probably give platinum a bit of a swerve right now. It's one of the kind of regretty spaghetti moments for me in my stack and collection. I don't think I'll lose money on them, but I think if I'd put money into gold instead, I would have an awful lot more in my pocket right now. It's kind of a bit of a misnomer, really. Platinum should be worth more than gold, but it's less than half, significantly less than half right now. And I think that's going to stay like that for a long time. Doesn't really make sense to me, but it is what it is. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section. That's why we do videos like this. I want to know who's buying right now, what you're buying, what kind of things float your boat. And if you are in the Cool Kids Club members and you have a regretty spaghetti moment of your own, like platinum, then please let me know what that is down in the comment section. If you don't know what the Cool Kids Club members are, then you can check out our channel memberships down below. That's one way to support our channel. Otherwise, just simply watching, liking, sharing, and commenting does more than you can imagine to help your favorite content creators. So please make sure to do that. Otherwise, last mention of this, so go over to the Silver Forum, links in the description. Get your entry in to win it. That would be really good. Otherwise, that's it from me. Thanks all for watching. We'll see you on the next video, which will be, again, reminder, a review of this Solveig coin from the Germania Mint. It's a stunner. It's going to be a good video. Go and check out them. There are links in the description to the Germania Mint as well. Otherwise, that's it. We'll see you on the next one. As always, please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.